That's unfortunate. Secondly, I saw the funniest thing today as I was coming home just moments ago. At one of the intersections, like really close to my house, like just up the road a little bit. There was this man. He's old. He's an old man's. He's very nice, I think. I haven't actually ever spoken to him, but he's probably nice. He looks like he would be nice. And he was just chilling. He was wearing his earmuffs in like a really nice button-down shirt and like, you know, decent like pants, trousers, pants, whatever you want to call them. And he was doing weed whacking. In like, you know, not like dirty clothes or like clothes that you could get dirty. He was like doing it in like what you would go to work with. Like you work in an office, he was doing it in that sort of stuff. And I'm like, excuse me, that's so weird. That's so weird. Is that like normal? Do people do that? Because I don't think I have ever seen that ever before. And if that is normal, please, someone tell me I'm not going insane. But that was like weird. That was weird. They say dress for the job you want, not the job you have. No, but he was just like, he was just cleaning his garden, you know? He was just like, he had his like wee little weed whacker and he was going, Nyurm! And like with his earmuffs on and everything. And he was just wearing like, you know, decent sort of clothes. Like you go out to a restaurant in it, you know? And like, I'm like, what happens if you start, if it like gets really dirty, dude? Like, what happens then? Then you have to wash them. And, like, what happens if you need them tomorrow, you know? Maybe people actually have clothes. I don't have too many clothes, so, yeah. Maybe that's why. But it was just so funny. It was so funny to see. Because normally you would see people in... It's not as bad as another old man that we had. He, I don't know if he passed away or, he got moved to a retirement home. Either one. There was this old man at the end of our street on, like, the corner house. Because we have like a T-junction for our intersection at the end of our street. And he had the house like on the corner and he had a huge garden like right on the corner of the road. And he would do his gardening fully naked, fully on display for everybody to see as they were going past. Because this wasn't his back garden, this was his front garden that he was doing that in. It was absolutely insane. My mum didn't like it at all. And I don't blame her. But it was like, it was weird. It was weird, dude. It was weird. It was weird. Dun, 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 dun. Honestly, if I played that game, I would do nothing but get distracted by it or something. I mean, that's the fun thing about games. You know, you don't have to do, like, all of the... You know, you can kind of just chill. You know, just play the game how you want to play it, you know? If you want to support absolute capitalism and become the richest person ever to exist, you know, sure, go for it, you know? If you want to be the poorest person in existence and just chill and vibe, then sure, go for it, you know? Like, games are there to be played how you want them to. You don't always have to do, like, the most optimal thing, you know? And don't let anyone tell you that you do, because if you don't have fun, then why are you playing the game, you know? Like... There's a lot of games out there that, I guess, kind of prey on people, like, continuing to play, but not enjoying it. You know, like, I'll have time off from Wizard101 because I don't enjoy it all the time. You know, like, I will stream it, but that doesn't mean I'm actually enjoying it. It takes a wee while for me to actually, you know, like, especially towards the middle of the year, I get so burnt out of Wizard101, especially trying to make content out of non-existent things. And that's very frustrating. But like, if I'm not enjoying it, I just won't play it. And it is okay to have some time off if you're not enjoying a game. But definitely don't play a game that you're not enjoying. That's not a good idea. Because at the end of the day, games are meant to be like a escape, a break for people from, you know, their normal jobs or school or whatever they are doing on their day-to-day basis. And if you don't have that and it's just like stressing you out more, that's a problem. That's a problem, honestly. Like, it's not great, you know. Go find another game, or go do something else, you know. Maybe go read a book, or, you know, go for a drive for like an hour or something. Yeah. Am I enjoying it right now? Not as much as I would normally be at this time of year. but also I'm a lot busier than I normally would be at this time of year, and also there's not a new world yet that I have played. So when Lemuria comes out, I'll be like all into Wiz again. But yeah, that's kind of how it is at the moment. But I go through like really big periods where I don't actually really like playing Wiz. I've discussed this in videos before that it just really grinds my gears sometimes, the community and everything. Not that like everyone's bad and hates everyone, but like sometimes it just gets a little bit too much, and I just really have to, like, you know, I'll only stream it or something like that. You know, because I can't like, unfortunately I can't just stop streaming Wiz. That's just not how it works. And like I just can't stop like recording videos for Wiz either. But like at the same time, I also don't just, like, there will be times when I just like hop on occasionally and just play, like in my off time. Not while I'm streaming, not while I'm recording, not trying to make a video or anything. But there's also times where, like, times of the year, like, I've had quite a lot of that this year where I just don't really want to play. But yeah. Go read a book. Ooh, words and letters. Well, I mean, hey, look, you know, go listen to a book. There's plenty of, you know, on digital ebook, whatever you want to call them, audiobooks, that's what they're called, out there, you know. I'm not going to name any names because no free brand deals. But like there's plenty of them out there, and up until recently I did actually have a subscription to one of them, and it was actually really nice, especially when I'm just driving to work. 100% would recommend. I've now been like more listening to podcasts while I'm doing that, driving to work and driving home again. And it's such a good way to just like focus, but also not like, you know, like be way too focused, I feel. Yeah, but everyone's different, you know. Everyone's different. They have their own things that, you know, makes them happy. Yeah. Pixelated letters and words on a screen is where it's at, for sure. For sure. Imagine reading a book when you can just write scripts and then read them back to yourself and realize they don't make any sense, and then rewrite the whole thing. That happens to me, at least. Does anybody else have that? No? Yikes, just me. That's a shame. But yeah, like, I mean, even just listening to books or something, I find that a lot more tolerable now, because I actually haven't physically read a book in years, like since high school, and that's a long time. That's a long time. But like listening to them is a different way to digest the content, I guess. Yeah, just offers something a little bit different. I remember when Fred helped me with Big Ben Dungeon. It was so weird seeing him actually type in chat. Why? Because I don't type in chat often. I honestly don't type in chat at all. Like, even if I am by myself, mainly I try and hide away from people. I don't usually type, unless like I really have to. Like if I'm in a team up, like I'll only type if I have to. I used to say hi, but then people just ignored me, so I'm like, you know, why should I bother? Why should I bother? Just be quiet. But yeah, I don't actually type in chat much in games, mainly because I don't really like playing games too much with other people, because I always feel so insecure about how I play games, because I don't try and be the best. And generally, as I was saying before, most people like pressure you to like, oh, you don't have the best gear, go and get it, dude. Like, what a noob. I don't like that. It's not cool. I'd play the game if I enjoy it, you know, like, you know, I don't try and get the best gear. That's why all of my pirates in Pirate 101 have like really suboptimal gear. It's not because I don't want the best gear. Of course I want it. I just don't really feel like grinding for it, because, you know, do I get it eventually? Yeah. But, like, I don't need it. I don't feel I need it. So, you know, I would prefer to play suboptimally if it gives me more enjoyment. So, yeah. Imagine not liking texture. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't... I just don't use it. It's not that I don't like it. I think it's a great way to communicate with people, other than the annoying filters. But also, I just feel like it's just not how I play. Like, even if I'm playing like other games, I won't talk to people. I just don't like doing that. You know, I prefer to just be in my own little world. You know, it ruins my immersion. Other people talking to me, immersion ruined, dude. Like, I can't do that. That's cringe. That's cringe. So cringe. Yeah. Really, will I ever want to actually talk in a voice chat? I'm the same. I really don't talk to any, especially like voice. I don't talk to anybody like on Discord other than the people that I like know quite well. Like that's it. I don't really talk to anybody else because it's just weird. I don't like talking to new people. I do that in real life too. Like I was in a meeting today with my boss and a couple of clients. I didn't really speak because, you know, I'll speak if I need to. But like it's just not something that I like doing. I don't like just speaking to people. It may be weird, but it's just I just don't like doing that. I don't like doing that because, you know, I don't feel like everything that I say is valuable and other people can say, you know, I don't care. I prefer listening. I just prefer being the fly on the wall. If I could be a fly on every single wall in the whole world, I would prefer that more than having to talk to people. That's my opinion though. You can just sit there and scream. I mean, yes, but I just don't really do that, you know. I just prefer to be in my own little world, you know, where no one can hurt me, and be and you know, that makes me feel happier. Yeah. The second my voice makes a sound eroding to like 18 or 19-year-old dude. The oldest someone called you was 21. Do you like me? I don't like the winky face that you added. That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird and suggestive. I wouldn't agree with that. I think everyone in my chat is very cool. Yeah. Especially everyone who generally comes to streams. Very cool. Other people who just come in and be weird, not cool. But generally people in my stream who come like all the time, they're cool. They're cool. I like them. They're cool. They're cool. So, yeah. Yeah. Your eye itches. Simply take it out, itch it, and then put it back in. Yeah, just take it out and scratch it and then put it back in. Problem solved. Easy clap. There. Fixed your issue. Welcome to Fix Your Issue. Give me an issue and I'll fix it. It's how it works. How are we up to? How we do? We do 460. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Wash it off with soap and water. Yes, my favorite part of my eyes. Washing it off with soap and water. So good. So great. The best. The best indeed. Super cool. I don't feel assaulted by seeing all those emojis. I just don't like when someone says, "Do you like me?" with a winky face. That's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird, in my opinion. You know, that's like, that could be taken so wrong, and I don't know which way they're talking. And if like I say the wrong thing, then someone either ends up hurt or they get really confused, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good for anybody at all. Nobody. No one. No one. Bum, ba-dum, bum. I need to get some more mana. I need to get some more mana soon. I'm running out. 119. It's actually amazing how much mana you like use while you're doing these badges. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely insane. Right. Frozen snails. Ooh. Yuck. At least cook them first, dude. You expect my pet to eat frozen snails? I only serve the best. Only the best fancy yogurt to my pets. Ain't no one got time for frozen snails. That is gross. Absolutely disgusting. My pets would never, ever, ever eat that. Ever. Never, ever. Never ever. Uh-oh, it's a tempest. I'm so scared. Snails are so cute. I don't know. We used to pick them off, like, the ground and move them to a different place. Because then it, like, feels like they go really fast, you see. You know, like, imagine a snail being picked up. That must feel like they're absolutely zooming. Like, they're so slow, but, like, when you pick them up, man, they must feel like they're, like, the most fastest thing around, you know? They're so polite, I adore them. They're better than slugs. Slugs are just weird, you know? Snails without shells, just weird, you know? Gotta have the house, you know? Gotta carry your house with you. Can't just be a slug, that's gross. Slugs are gross. Snails at least have a cute wee little helmet, you know? That's my opinion. That's my opinion on snails. At least they're not slugs. The snail is always following you. I don't know about that one. I haven't seen a snail in so long. You dear, call frozen snails bad? Yeah, they're better alive. Or, like, not frozen. Like, cooked. If you're gonna eat them, they're far better warm than frozen. Can tell you that. Can tell you that. Or as the French would say, escargot, which is snail. Yeah, far better warm than frozen. I really want to do like one of those like weird food. We have like this weird food. I made my arm disappear. It goes behind my chair, but it disappears. It's quite funny. You have like a whole bunch of weird food like festivals. I really want to do one of those once and just see how much I can actually eat. I think that would be really cool. Really funny. Really, really funny. Just because, like, there's a lot of people who just wouldn't eat a whole bunch of weird stuff. But, you know, I feel like I would. I would probably do that. Generally because I have the opinion that I'm not really allergic to anything that I know of. And I've tried a lot of stuff. And they're not, like, specifically going to try and kill you because that is not what... They wouldn't be open if they were doing that. So, therefore, theoretically, you can eat everything and not die. May it taste the best? No. But at least you can eat it all, you know? And I want to see how much weird stuff that I could eat. And, like, rate it all, you know? Like, I think that would be really fun. That would be really, really fun. I think that would be really, really funny. And just, like, intriguing for me, really. What am I doing right now? I am streaming. That's what I'm doing right now. Surprisingly. Very surprisingly, in fact. Very, very surprisingly. I bet you never saw that answer coming. It's absolutely crazy answer. Sounds scary, but interesting. It's only scary if you're, if you don't like eating food that is, like, weird. But I feel like I want to try that once. Just once, you know? Maybe not again, but just once. I would love to try that. I think it would be so fun. Please don't be too weird, Hargill. Please don't. Please don't be too weird. Right. Righty-ho. Yep, my internet is dying. That is great. Hopefully that's the last time that this will happen. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Right. Let's do this. He insulted the snails. I didn't insult the snails. I said they're cool. They're better than slugs, though. Slugs are not snails. Just saying. Just saying. But that's the end of that conversation, if we're gonna get pedantic about it. You know what I hate about stupid, like, warranty things? They make the writing so small. This is what I got with my new webcam. Look how small that is. Like, tell me you can't read that, because I can't. Like, it is so ridiculously small. And also what's even worse about it is, like, the paper is so thin that you can see through to the other side, and it makes it even more confusing. Like, where do they get off, you know? Also, how many frickin' languages do they need to put it in? Like, obviously, the only language in the world is English. You know, like we don't need every other language in the world. That's just overkill. That was a joke. But yeah, I just feel like they make it way too small, you know? And you always have to, like, find the right part. And it could be anywhere in it. And half of it's in, like, weird languages that you don't even speak or didn't know that they existed. You guys ever fall 5 to 6 feet, pop your ankle, and your mum laughs at you? Can't say that I've ever done that. Also, I can't say that I would ever want to fall 5 or 6 feet. That sounds like a high place. Because what's that in meters? 6 feet. It's like meter. It's like 2 meters or something. Yeah, like 1.8 meters, 2 meters. Nah, that's a bit too far for me. I'm not a bird. I'm not here for flying. You can't read it because it's 256p. Well, you can change that. You can change that, dude. You can change that. That's not my problem. That's yours. You can go up to 1080 60 if you wanted to. No 4K streams. Also, I can't imagine what anybody would watch a 4K stream. Like, that is just ridiculous. That is absolutely insane. You guys ever wonder if it would solve problems or cause problems if the world spoke one language? The problem with that is, I've thought about this a lot. This is something that I've thought about a lot because linguistics kind of interesting, a little bit, just slightly. The biggest problem with that is there's still going to be like a local dialect that is going to like obscure the main language. You know, like you guys in America have weird like words and sayings that, you know, I don't have in New Zealand, and we have weird sayings and words that you don't use in America, and it's still gonna be like in some places speaking a completely different language, you know, because they need to make it fit in with their culture and society still, and having one language may not be able to do that, and you'd have like weird dialects, you know, and that's not the greatest, personally. It's not like you chose to fall on purpose. I know, but like still, that's too much. You should simply not. You should simply know. It's not like you jump off rooftops for fun. I mean, people do that. I wouldn't put it past anybody, you know. People do that. Weird, yes, but people do that, you know. I don't judge. If you want to go and jump off buildings and stuff, go for it. If it doesn't impact me, then it's fine. Just don't land on me, please. Just please don't. 472. Nice. This is 474. Sure, you New Zealand speak in the British language or dialect. Okay, so there's a difference between language, dialect, and accent. Accent is different no matter where you go, because every person has their own. I mean, yeah, every person generally has their own accents, but generally groups in a close region will have a similar accent, and it will differ significantly from people in another region, or area. We'll say area. It's a bit more broad. So like, you know, you have the American accent, and then you've got like the Southern accent, and you've also got the Canadian accent, which all three of them completely different, you know, completely different. And you know, we've got the New Zealand accent, then there's the Australian accent, and then there's the British accent, which are all completely different as well. Dialects are like different like words that possibly have meaning, like different meanings, extra words that aren't in one sort of language. That's kind of what a dialect is. Basically just completely different words, or possibly like different ways of writing words, or different ways of using those words in a sentence. or different meanings for different words. So like one word may mean X thing, but it may mean Y thing in another place. And then there's language as a whole, which obviously, you know, there's like a completely different way of speaking or communicating. So like there's, you know, sign language, that's a language. There's Morse code, which technically is a language. There's English, there's Chinese, there's Japanese, you know, all different languages. Yeah. Please don't put words in my mouth. I would appreciate if you did not do that. I would appreciate that. But yeah, that's language and dialects and accents. And also, New Zealanders do not have... We generally use the British spellings of English words. And most of our slang is probably more akin to Australia than Britain. Simply because we don't have, like, super strong British ties, like, linguistically is actually the word for it, because they're so far away. So far away. They're, like, literally, like, dig straight down from my house, you'd probably, I think you end up in Portugal, which is, you know, basically the other side of the world from us, so, yeah. Yeah. I fizzled. No. Very sad. Very sad. What is this? Gonna remove my blades? Just kidding. He's gonna stormouth me. What a noob. Imagine stormouthing. How dare he stormouth me. Andrew Fizzleblade. Only these guys. Only these guys. Because they keep frickin' mantling me. If there was no mantles, I wouldn't fizzle as much and it would be fine. But there is mantles and it is not fine. And I do not appreciate it at all. It is not cool or good. 0 out of 10. My review is 0 out of 10 on Yelp. Unfortunately. Also, I don't think I've ever seen me fizzle. I never fizzle. I have never fizzled in my life. It is impossible for me to fizzle. I am unfizzleable. Some would call me a walking infal. That's how unfizzleable I am. You know, I never fizzle. Never, ever, never, never. You have no proof, ever. No proof, ever, of me fizzling. Right. I need more mana soon. Don't really want to use a potion, but might have to. Might have to. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Kablam. Blade. Lovely. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Right, crit, lovely, blade, and dead. Bye. Bye, have a nice time. Have a nice time. Oh, what did you think of the caramel video? Did you watch that, Rose? What did you think? Thoughts and praise, please. Or criticism. I don't mind it. I'm in a good mood. I can take criticism today. Haven't watched it yet. You've been too busy. Oh no. It's so good. I'm so happy with mainly the ending. Mainly the ending of it. Mainly the ending. I think the ending is like really, really cool. Sure, it's good like all of the others. I am actually really happy with how that series went. Like, it may not have done like the best, but like I think it was a very well put together series, and definitely much needed as well. Yeah. I think I need to start doing more of that stuff that is like better quality, even if it isn't as like popular or something. But yeah, I just think it's probably it was a good series. I thought it was very good. very well done, in my opinion. Obviously, there's things that I would change. But then also, you know, I am only one person. I can only do so much. I can only do so much. Especially when I need to try and get them out reasonably frequently. I was talking about it on Friday, but every time I watch those videos, I'm reminded how little I remember about the game. Yeah, well, I mean, most of the vast majority of the stuff, I had to go and, like, make sure I was, like, actually saying correctly. Because, like, there's a lot of, like, weird sort of, like, quirks to the story that don't really make too much sense. And also just random, you know? And also, I don't remember back from all of the dialogue, you know, from all the way through. The only world that I wrote basically off of the top of my head without really referring to very much of the dialogue was Caramel, just because that's really fresh in my mind. Everything else I 100% had to go and, you know, triple double check that everything was, you know, like actually what was happening and not what I thought was happening. And also just cutting out all of the absolute like filler stuff out of the videos, because like no one cares about, oh, you know, we went to like Avalon, we did a whole bunch of things, we went to this place and we did this, and then we did another thing, and then we finally killed the Jabberwock. You know, no one really cares about that because it doesn't really forward the plot, which is one reason why I hate Avalon now. It's just terrible. But yeah, also in Azteca there's quite a bit of that as well. Caramel, my beloved, I know. Also, I didn't realize how much of Imperia Part 2 is just absolutely redundant. Like, the whole of the aeroplanes. What a great story it is. But it's completely redundant to the plot and doesn't really forward it at all. Other than to buy the Nimbari time to convert their citadel into a weapon to destroy the chain of life and death in Mandala that we went to earlier. You know, like, that's literally you can skip from Mandala to Nimbari and generally the plot would remain the same. And then you can go basically from there. I guess you need the Chaos Jungle a little bit and Mandala destroyed, but then you can basically just go straight now past. And well done, you know, like, oh, also the Reverie as well, that's very important. That's like the most vital bit. That and becoming the Scion, but that's not particularly in Imperia. But like those are like the most important story beats. Everything else kind of just like filler content that doesn't necessarily need to be there, but is there to make the story more fleshed out, but not exactly needed. You know, like you could remove it and the story would still be the same. So I tried to cut as much of that out as possible. The problem with Caramel is that the reason why it was such a long video for one world, is because I don't know where the story is going next, so I have to add as much detail as possible, because I can't just be like, hey, you know, I know how the story ends, so if we just like cut out all of Sweetsburg, it's fine. You know, like I didn't know that. You know, I don't know what's happening next with Lemuria and onwards. So, you know, stuff that happens in Sweetsburg, you know, may be important later in the line, you know? And it's kind of hard to know what is important at the moment and what isn't. And that's the biggest challenge that I found while writing Caramel. Mainly because I was just summarizing the world as a whole and not, like, cutting out the least important bits. Like, Azteca, I could have summarized it and it would have been far longer, but it's not important to the story. Same with Chrysalis. Chrysalis Part 1 could have gone way more in detail, but it's just not relevant at all. Like, it's... Chrysalis Part 1, relevancy... like, not relevant at all. It's most of Chrysalis is just filler. Like, Chrysalis Part 1. Chrysalis Part 2 is a lot of lore. But Chrysalis Part 1, mostly filler. Imperia Part 1, heaps of lore. Imperia Part 2, lots of filler. You know, Polaris, heaps of lore. Mirage, mostly filler. It's just kind of like going through and like making sure that the story makes sense while keeping it as short as possible, because people only have so many minutes to watch. You know, like they only have short attention spans, and you've got to really like cut it down. Which is why making the shorts of each of them is not only absolutely challenging, because vast majority of the worlds. Wizard City was the only exception. The lore cannot fit in, like, the vital lore cannot fit into 1 minute. Like, it is absolutely impossible. So I start cutting out even more lore that is, you know, relatively important, but not, like, super duper crucial. Like Imperia Part 2, that one was very difficult because, I mean, it was already pretty bare bones as it was. But making that, like, 3 minutes of really bare bones Imperia into 1 minute was really difficult. Especially trying to get as much detail across of what happened. And that was actually a challenge that I enjoyed as well. I haven't done the caramel one yet, and I really dread that because that is so long. That's like a 4-minute video or something, nearly 5 minutes, so that's going to be painful. Especially since I don't know what is entirely relevant yet to the plot. Like, I would say that most of like the worker stuff and happiness initiative isn't really relevant. But then if it is, then I look like an idiot. So I don't know if I'm gonna like actually do one for caramel yet, because I just don't know where it's going and what happened. Oh, we at a backspace. We are. That's great. We're gonna have four things of music scrolls. 5. Oh no. I say 5 last time. I was wrong. I say 4 this time. I was wrong. I'm just the worst. Absolutely terribly terrible. So sad. So sad. What are we up to? That's Mushu. Wrong one. 286. Oh my gosh. You're always so close yet so far. I know. I know. If we had one less music scroll, we would have been on the dot. On the dot. But nope. Not how it works. I can never be on the dot. So sad. So sad. Oh well. But yeah, I was super happy with that series. I think it was a good one. I honestly think, I stand by it. I really stand by it. As much as, you know, it didn't do as well as I thought it would. I mean, that's the problem. Like, most of the videos that I spend the longest time on just don't do as good. And, like, I don't know exactly why that is. Because, like, I would like them all to do, you know, well. But, like, the ones that, like, I spend a lot of time on, and they don't do as well, like, significantly terrible. Like, most of them were, like, in the top 8 of the last, like, top 8 of the last 10 videos, which, you know, number 8 of 10, not exactly a high score. It's slightly annoying. Slightly annoying, in my opinion. I'm not going to complain, because I don't, like, want, like, lots and lots of views, but it does frustrate me a little bit, because then I can make, like, really, really, like, low quality, like, easy to make videos that do reasonably well and just, like, spam them out, and I do better with that than I do with, like, making really high quality stuff. But then I also don't feel as good about it, you know? It's just, like, really weird, like, how it works at the moment. It's just strange, and I don't quite understand why that is. I don't know if it's because there is, maybe I'm, like, not, like, you know, optimizing them enough for, like, views. You know, they don't get as many views because people can't find them. I just don't know why that is specifically, because, like, they just don't do as well. And I don't know whether that's just because they're bad, which, you know, I think they're better than most of the other videos that I put up. Especially a lot of the newer ones. But also, maybe they're just not what the community wants? I don't know. It's just a little bit strange to me. Because theoretically, it should do better because it's like a way better quality video. You know, and generally quality is pretty decent. But then also, if I could just spam out, like, a whole bunch of really, really bad videos, you know, like, I could, you know, make a walkthrough, have a death walkthrough, spam out 2 videos a day, and they do like, you know, 100 views each, then that's a lot more than like, you know, 100 views, if that, for like a video that spent like 2 weeks or one or 2 weeks in production. You know, it's just a little bit strange in my opinion. I feel like the content people are watching right now isn't based on quality, though. I mean, I can say that in the Wiz community. Generally, you're not looking for that. But, like, I just also don't want to do that because I don't have the time to just go and sit there and, you know, record, like, well, I'm sure I could find time to record, like, 100 million, like, you know, my side quest series that I put on my second channel. I haven't done that in a while because I haven't had a lack of videos. There'll probably be a couple coming up soon. But, like, I can literally, I did like, what, 6 of them one day, like 1 hour, boom, done. Like, I could do that and post that every single day, but then also, like, there's just no value in that. It's just not valuable to anybody. That's why I put it on the second channel, because that's the channel where, like, I don't really care what goes up on there. If it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, I don't care. You know, it's just kind of funny how, like, you know, try and put as much effort into those videos and it doesn't do as well. It'll be interesting to see how the death walkthrough goes, because that'll be slightly more effort than what it has been previously, and I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Still going to have like all of the same elements as it had last time, except it's just going to be probably the episodes won't be as like progression as much, like there won't be as much like visible progression in each episode, because it'll be more like broken into like bigger or really small chunks, and there'll be probably more episodes of it, but they'll be of like higher quality for that like small-ish chunk, maybe. Like that's kind of how it would be, and I'm interested to see how that does compared to the other ones, because when I did it last year for Caramel, they did quite well, but I don't know if it's gonna do well in like, you know, I spend like 1 week to make 1 episode, you know, instead of having like 2 or 3 episodes a week, which is what I was doing last year with Caramel, and just absolutely smashed it out real quick. I don't know about that. I just find it strange. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do like really low quality stuff. That's what the second channel's for. But I just find it really strange that it doesn't do as well. You know, like in theory, that's not how it should work. You know, like it's not like I really care, but it's just interesting to me. It's interesting, like every single time I've done that, unless like it's a really, really like absolutely insane video that, you know, like you would click on, they just don't do as well. And maybe it's because it's not as clickable, you know, like that could for sure be the case, you know, like maybe like I need to start making like really like click enticing content if I want like that many views, but I also don't want to do that, because I feel like it loses a lot of its personality, you know, because it's not like something more unique, and it's more like just a general like, hey, I'm gonna do this because, you know, why not? Views. It's just a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird, in my opinion. You're just kind of talking, not trying to put words in my mouth. I appreciate that. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just finding it like completely. I just find it weird. It's a little bit disheartening, but I find it mainly like strange that's how it works. I honestly don't really care. Like I could get 5, I'd still do it because I enjoy it. But it's just funny. It's just really funny because everyone's like, you know, like go and upload good videos, you know. But when you actually do that, especially for some genres, like for sure, some genres you need to, like some areas on YouTube you have to have like the best quality stuff, but for Wiz it doesn't seem to be the case. Like you could have the most averagest video, you know, like a stream highlight or something, and it could do absolutely insane. But like you have like a really thought out long series of like 4 or 5, you know, videos that like are really beneficial to everybody, and it just doesn't do well at all, which is kind of funny. Yeah. It's just kind of funny, in my opinion. But I stand by that series. I think it's a good one. I think it was good. How many more do we have? Like, nearly there, right? 96. This will be 98. What are we doing for the final? What are we doing for the Rose? What spell are we using for the final hit? What spell do you want me to use? You can pick. The Wiz viewership is odd. I mean, it's also because I'm not, like, uploading PvP either. And, like, the vast majority of good Wiz content, or Wiz content that... Oh, I'm actually nearly out of mana. That's awkward. Is PvP. And I just don't do that because I don't find it fun. I really don't. Do you want to use an AoE? No, you can pick whatever spell that is death. Whatever death spell you want, I will use it. I will use it. I need to not fizzle this. Thank you. Please don't mantle me again, because if I fizzle this, I am screwed. In fact, I'm going to Ship of Fools just in case. Because even if I fizzle, it would have used my mana, and then I would have 1 mana, and I can't cast any spells with that, so... Oh no. Luckily, if I fizzle this, I have another Ship of Fools, which is 4, so it'll be fine. So yeah, theoretically, I should not be bad. Unless I fizzle twice. Then it is panic, and I have to flee. But I don't think I'll fizzle. I never fizzle. I never fizzles. I fizzled, oh my gosh. Do King Art or something. Okie dokie. We can do that. We can do that. See, 0 mana. If I'd done a Scarecrow and fizzled that, it would have been game over. I would have had to flee. Very sad. But I don't, because I am smart. I am smart. I am smart. Very smart. Nobody ever uses Bear Man. I mean, in PvP, you see it a lot more. Death King Art is like the most useless spell, though. It is absolutely terribly useless. It gives an infection, and, like, it's so many pips for an infection. And even with, like, Monster Mash, it's just not worth it. It's just really not worth it. Really not worth it. Really not worth it. Right, okay, so what, this is the last fight that we have to do, right? Yeah, okay. We've got 2 more. Okie dokie. Let's do 2 King Arts then. Where is he? He's number 8. There he is. See, look, it's also a 10% pierce. Which, 700 damage for that and a minus 50 infection. You know, like, you might as well just do Dr. Von. It's what, 1 more pip? Does basically exactly the same, except it heals you as well, you know? Like, it's such a useless spell and for death alone. Other schools, it's great, but death just really got shafted with that. As normal. We need to get 2 of these. And do we want to feint? Or just blade? We'll do those blades. Keep that one off. Do I want to, like, maybe I Death Trap. Just for fun, because I don't use that spell enough at all. We'll do that. We'll do that, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch them enfeeble me, actually. Let's not use blades. They're going to enfeeble me, and I'm going to be sad. So, we will not use blades. We'll use traps. We're going all traps. All traps! No one can deny that that is the best strategy to go for. How many more of these do we have? We've got 3. Okay, so we can do 2 more, which would be 2 feints and 2 more. And then we'll also do a dead zone. And also we will put in a we'll do virulence because it's death, obviously got to, and Shrike. Not that we need Shrike. No, we won't do Shrike. We'll do that. That sounds good. Hi, Wow Mage. We're about to kill the last 100 trolls. How are you? Hope you're doing well. We're about to kill the last of the 100 trolls. This is so exciting. With King Art, because Rose decided that that would be a good spell to use. And I agree. No one uses it. You're good, that is good. That is very good. I was so accurate on that prediction. I said yesterday that it would probably take an hour. Boom, an hour and 2 minutes. We're doing it. It's great. I am just predict king. Right, we'll do a unenchanted one of these on this dude. Thank you for the 200.
For the killing of the last trolls finally, Brent.
I know. It's been a long time. It's actually been a lot longer for me than it has for you guys, but yeah. It's been crazy. Because I was grinding these guys off stream for a little bit as well. Before I started streaming it. Also, new camera. What do you think, Wow Mage? What do you think? But yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for the 200. Very cool. Very epic. See, this is why I didn't play it and decided traps only. Just because of this boy. I can't deal with Leviathans. I just can't deal with it. Looks good. Brink looks clear. I know, it's better than a white box as well. Better than a white box, I think. In my opinion, at least. Unless that is what you like, and then that's fine. That's fine, but I don't think it's particularly good. We'll do this, just so we know that we've got both of the death traps on him. The white box made me look too white. True though, true. This, I have like a slight blue tinge on this side, which is a little bit strange. I don't know what that's from. It might be from outside, I guess. I don't know. I need to fix the colors a little bit as well. I feel like they're a little bit, like, too, like, bland, I guess. But, hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We've got the enchanted version of that, so we can do that one as well, which is good. So he's nearly got all of his, he's got all of his normal traps. He just needs 2 feints. Watch my pet cast mass feint. That would be fantastic. Please, gotta happen. We can do potent feint, and put that on this dude. Lovely. Then he just needs a regular feint, and he's all done. I should have put in spirit trap. I always forget about spirit trap. This is not something that I think about at all. It's just really not something I think about. Okay, we'll do a potent curse on this dude. Also, this is 8 pips, isn't it? I need 16. Okay. Right, that's fine. These are fine. I just need to, like, calculate how many pips I'll need. So I don't have to, like, waste my virulence as much. Because I only had one. Only had one. Watch them Catalan right before I hit and I fizzle. That would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. I'll probably have max pips when I do that. Right, this is a enchanted death trap. Which is cool. I did put into King Arts, right? Pretty sure I did. Pretty sure I did. Okay, right, there's the regular feint for this dude. And at the moment, also a regular feint for the other dude, which is good. I think I did as well. I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty sure. The absolute insanity of Catalan. Why do they do this spell so much? I do not understand. I do not understand this at all. Tis insane. Tis absolutely insane. In the membrane. Oh, now he steals Pip. Fun. It's their favourite spell, I know. But can they just stop? The fizzling is incessant and I do not like it. Absolutely do not like it at all. Hey, that was actually a good thing for me because then I don't have a stupid noob Pip. That was actually beneficial for them to do that for me. I did put in two. Lovely. Right, he's all done. This guy needs the feint. The regular feint, I believe. Then I just need a potent feint on him. And 2 regular traps. Correct? That is correct. 30 of those and a 30 of those. And then a potent feint and we're good. Then we'll put up a dead zone. Because I don't think these guys change bubble at all. I don't think they have Dark Wind. Actually, do they have Astrophobia? They might have Astrophobia. Watch them cast Astrophobia. I don't think I've ever seen them do it. But... oh, no, they don't. Lovely. Okay, that's cool. They're fine. We can cast Dead Zone whenever. That it needs to be by itself. I haven't even started. Still have to call 2 of your 4 nieces and see what they want. And decided to pick the 2 oldest ones. 2 of 30. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Good luck. It's just going to get harder as the day gets closer. That is so true. That is so true. So true. Right, this is the last trap we need. Then we'll cast Dead Zone. Then we're going to pass a couple rounds just so we get full pips. Then we'll do Virulence. We'll hit once. And then we'll pass a couple rounds and hit twice. And it'll be great. It'll be great and fine and beautiful and wonderful and lovely. All your nieces are now over 18, so it's even harder. Yeah. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. You do your shopping online. Fair. I would, but at the moment, like, you just never know when things are going to get here. Especially here in New Zealand. It's just going to take, like, 5 million years. Like, absolutely ages. 22, 19, and 18. Oof. Oof. Kablam. Right, Dead Zone. Give me that death damage, dude. Right, Virulence for 4 rounds. Which is very cool. As long as I don't fizzle anything. Theoretically, I think I'll still have Virulence up when I hit next. I think. Pretty sure that's how math works. And if not, then that's a shame, but oh well. Oh well, it'll be fine. Right, let's do this. King Art number 1. We'll do this guy first, because he looks scarier. He looks scarier. I'm going to turn up the sound because I haven't actually heard this spell in like forever. Does it even make sound? I don't know. It does. I don't know. Nice. That was a decent hit. Twas a decent hit. Oh, I can go back to back. Oh, epic. Epic. That's so good. That did so much more, holy moly. GG. We did it. We did it. We are a Tundra Troll Toll Taker. How epic is that? We did it, chat. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh my gosh. So cool. So epic. That is a real... It's like as long as my name. It's as long as my name. That's how crazy it is. Right, all of Polaris has been done. Oh, I am free of